Hey guys, it's Tuesday, March 6th, and I need to get a haircut. Just so worried about finding a new barber. It's a lot of stress to put on a new relationship, you know? So a few weeks ago I was talking and pretty much failing to make my point about why I might want to transfer to a different school like a year from now. Back then I was trying to make the point that I didn't really fit in with anyone here, but like I felt kind of weird and conceited, and it felt kind of untrue to say that. And I think a lot of that's because I've never really been swayed by the argument that it's impossible for you to make friends somewhere. I've always felt like you can make friends anywhere. But the truth is, as I was growing up, I was never really that interested in making friends. I always just kind of had as many as I needed. But now that all my old high school friends can only come to me in the form of internet video logs, which come, quite frankly, very infrequently, I'm really starting to pine for human companionship again. And indeed, while I've proven that it is true that you can find friends anywhere, and I have made friends here, and I really enjoy their company, the point I was trying to make before in previous videos but didn't really understand at the time is that while I can make friends here, and make friends really anywhere, the people I meet here are just different. It's not because the people are different. There's nothing intrinsically different about people who live in Southern California, but their upbringing is wildly different in a few key aspects from anything, you know, we had in Calaveras County. It's impossible to find anyone here who's ever heard of the Wonder Years. And while I don't want that to sound like it's some sort of deal breaker on being my best friend or not, it's indicative of something deeper. You'd be hard-pressed to find anyone here who's not into top 40 dance music. And that's not because they have, like, worse taste than I do. It's just because they grew up in Southern California, and the way people are used to having fun here is getting together and having parties where you drink and listen to top 40 dance music. For kids here, really good memories they made with their friends means top 40 dance music at parties, as opposed to, say, me, for whom all of my favorite memories with friends involve dressing up like idiots and trying to stave off boredom at all-night events at high school, or going to really unenthusiastic pop-punk concerts and making the best out of it. So while there are almost undeniably people here I can get along with, and almost certainly a certain number of people who I would naturally be friends with, their apparent rarity, much like a lobster or a walnut, makes finding them and actually getting a payoff a lot more frustrating than actually getting that payoff. I mean, I've never had lobster, I'm a poor college student, but I've had walnuts, and they are very difficult to get open. And then you got a little tiny bit of meat, and I mean, like, what is that? That's nothing. And I assume lobsters are like that too. Much in the same way that I assume it'd be easier to make friends in Santa Cruz or possibly Santa Barbara, but I have no idea. Which is why I ultimately haven't made any premature decisions about what I'm going to do in my future just yet. So I guess if there's anything to take from this video, it's that there's nothing to take from this video. Other than, I suppose, that today I signed my lease to get that apartment I was talking about with you guys a couple weeks ago. And yeah, so that's gonna happen. And quite frankly, I'm excited about it. If for no other reasons than because I'll have my own bed and shower. And because there'll be, you know, social opportunities for me to actually go and meet people in which I won't feel all uncomfortable like I have. Because up until now, living in the dorms, the only real opportunities have been like frat parties. And that's not my style. So until next time, guys, I guess I'll be searching for that proverbial group of kids who like pop-punk music and, you know, are kind of punkish, but not too punkish. It should be noted as I was recording that, the people I'm going to be living with next year flagged me down and took me over to their little secluded place within the palm trees. Not dissimilar from the cemetery behind CHS, if you get my meaning. And while none of them have ever heard of the Wonder Years, it occurs to me they're not that far off from the proverbial group of punk kids. So yeah, next year's gonna be fun. Guys, I'll see you next week.